Hello everyone, it's Misha Emma DePuyer. I'm Emma DePuyer and welcome into this month's member interview. Tommy an seo anjomh le Patricia. I'm here with Patricia. Patricia, conas atá tú? How are you?
Tommy go bra, I'm Gura Magat. Diadich.
Fáilte gur míle as teacht. Thank you so much for coming online with me today. Patricia is an interesting member as she's not a native English speaker, and I'm always eager to grasp those non-native English speakers who are learning Irish. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know a little bit more about Patricia. So Patricia, would you like to introduce yourselves to the watchers and listeners at home?
Yes, of course. So it's Misha Patricia. Tame Saska Bliendish is Franka me. Is as Virtain me. Tame Himohoni in Malabiag, which is called Plug-sur-Lier en Bretagne, in Brittany. Tame Escort. Ba winter skoile me. Tame enge Mwinje digne an og le fada an la. Tame posta, I'm married. Ta Kara Mac Agam, I have 4 sons. And Beme imo Hanwaha Golua and Sarah Show. First one. I will be a grandmother this summer. And Ismailom sport. I like sport. Agus is bralom kjol. Agus is bralom kjol tradition ta. I like sport and I love music and I love traditional music, all the traditional musics, and of course especially Irish music.
Of course. Go hauling. Patricia, so the first thing I want to jump into is you say you live in Brittany, and obviously for those who don't know, Breton is also a Celtic language. Yes. But it's a Celtic language on the other side. So just for those who don't know, there's 2 types of Celtic languages. There's P Celtic and Q Celtic, or you can also group them as Goidelic and Brittonic. And Irish, Scottish Gaelic and Manx, spoken on the Isle of Man, are Q Celtic or Goidelic languages. And then you have the other side, which are the P Celtic or the Brittonic Celtic languages, which are Breton, Welsh and Cornish, spoken in Cornwall. So we do have a tie here, Patricia. So it's not, I wasn't so surprised when you said you were learning Irish, even though, you know, we'll get into your background, but it's lovely to have someone that has Celtic roots, not just Irish roots, but Celtic roots. So how did you come to the decision to learn or to start with Irish, or maybe why Irish?
Actually, I wanted to learn Irish because of the songs, because of the music and Irish songs. I've always been interested in Irish music, as I said, and through Irish bands, I heard Irish songs as Gaeilge, and I was very curious about that. It's not the same as the Breton language, and I am also interested in Breton songs, of course, but I wanted to learn Irish songs, and I used to sing with friends of mine in a little pub in my village, and most of the time we learned and sing Irish songs, but in English. And once I proposed one song in Irish that I learned in a class with an Irish singer from Cork, I think, Karen Cassie. And the first song is called Bog Brain, so it's a lullaby, and all of us learned this song, and several years later we always began our sessions by that song, which is quite funny. And I had other workshops and classes with other singers, and so I learned several songs like that. And some 2 or 3 years ago, we met a man from Derry who is now living with his wife in our village in Plug-sur-Lier, and he speaks Irish, and he was a teacher in Derry when he was there, and he was used to come and have a drink in the pub, and he went one Saturday, and he heard us singing Bog Brain, so he was very, very stunned to hear some girls singing in Irish in a small Breton village, and we spoke each other, and he proposed to come and help us to learn and pronounce and so on, and he suggested one book. I bought the book, this book, and the first song of the book is Bog Brain. It's such a hazard. And now Mickey and his wife, they each Saturday they come with us, and we learn a lot with them, and we learn about history and so on, about Ireland.
Wow! So you really got an authentic deep dive into the language there. You started with just, Irish trad songs in English, and then moved into that one Irish song, and Bog Brain then brought you and Mickey and his wife together, and now you can all live together in this small village and enjoy the music together. I can't believe that, but I'm also not surprised, as you'll always meet an Irish person everywhere you go in the world. They say that you're never too far from an Irish person, and that's definitely true. So I love Bog Brain. I teach that to my students sometimes here as well in Germany in the university. It's a lovely song. So yeah, I don't even know where to begin there. I suppose, so for yourself, it was music, and a lot of people find connection through music. And again, it's easy to come upon Irish music, as you said, in English, and people do forget that there's a whole culture of songs as Gaeilge, freisin. And in terms of then the language itself, outside of the music, how how has it been for you? Because of course, when you hear music and you hear words and you have a melody to go with it, it can be easier to remember things and, you know, and learn things. How has the other side of language learning been for you? Grammar or, you know, structuring sentences. How is that?
When I began to be interested in Irish language, I began with Duolingo. So I can remember it was very difficult for me at the beginning because it seems so important things to learn, and after a time, I needed something else, so I began to search on the internet, because in my area there is no classes. And so I found Bite Size Irish, and yes, the vocabulary seems easier than grammar, and it's absolutely different from French. So I think it's by repeating and repeating and repeating and trying to find several entries. So I also bought children books because as I was a teacher, I can remember my pupils, they can learn through books for young children. And yes, grammar is quite difficult, and all the how do you call it, words are not written the same all the time.
The dialects and the words are spelt differently depending. Yeah, I understand. You're well done on the kids' books, on the children's books idea, because I find that is very, very helpful, because a lot of the vocabulary is repeated within the books. You know, that the author writes these books and, you know, the same vocabulary, the same sentence structures come up over and over again. And then in terms of, I know you're not a Breton speaker, but have you noticed any similarities, or maybe even in the structure or the grammar? I know that, of course, the verb, all of the Celtic languages are verb first, verb, subject, object languages. But even in vocabulary, is there anything that pops out, or no?
The first word I think about is glass, which means in Breton it means blue or green. It's the same word, blue and green, in Britain, glass, and I think it's the same in Irish.
You're very right. I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because as a lot of speakers of Irish, maybe learners in school and things, nowadays we think as glass just as green. But if you look at the vocabulary, it can, even the older vocabulary of describing animals or weather, it can also mean grey. And it definitely, in Welsh as well, it's the same. Of course, it's also Celtic language. And this is what I did my master's thesis on. I looked at the word glass and looked at all of the different meanings of it through some research that's been done on it, and then applied that to some literature that I was reading. So yes, yeah, there's definitely this color hue, blue or green. And then, of course, if you think of the sea sometimes, or the ocean sometimes looks blue, sometimes it looks a bit green, sometimes it can even look a bit grey. So yeah, glass would describe all of that. Interesting. I like it. And Trisha,
I saw another word, dolmen, which is no, a stone.
Yeah. Also, is that the same word in Britain?
In Britain, it's dolmen, D-O-L-M-E-N, which means a stone with, which is.
Yeah, these portal dolmens, where you have the standing stones and the one on the top. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? It's amazing. And I tried to learn Welsh myself. I haven't given a go at Breton yet, but it's interesting. Sometimes it can help you if you have another Celtic language, but sometimes it doesn't help you also, because sometimes the vocabulary can differ so much, or the same word is there in both languages, but they mean different things as well. So sometimes it can be tricky in that sense. But the next question I'd have for you then is, of course, you're enjoying the music, I presume. You're enjoying the language through Irish music. Are there any other aspects that you enjoy? That you have been enjoying so far while learning the language?
Actually, I've always been interested in learning language in general. The question of language is something I find very amazing. How do the children learn their native language? Is it the same process when being an adult you try to learn a new language? It's a question very interesting for me, and why Irish language. I should have preferred to learn Breton language, as my father was his native language was the Breton, but he never spoke Breton to us. I don't know why. Maybe because of his history, of his dark history in the 50s in Brittany, during the First World War and after the war. The life for the Breton people in the farms and in Brittany was not very happy. For my father, I understood that speaking the Breton language and learning it to his children was too difficult because of his history. It was like he wanted to forget all that.
Yeah, wow. I think that's not a new concept for people with with minority or minoritized languages. There's definitely lots of native Irish speakers that never pass the language down to their children in Ireland, same in Wales, same across the world, I think. So yeah, it's not a surprising story that you have, but there's nothing that the children can do other than perhaps return to it in their later years. But at least, even if they don't, to understand the history behind it, and the reasoning behind all of that. So it's very interesting, isn't it? It's I always find it. You can talk about a minority language as a whole and say, oh, it's a shame that no one speaks it. Why don't they speak it anymore? Oh, no one's learning it. But there's so much history around it, and there's so many personal stories around it that you forget that there's real people behind all of this. And I don't know, it's we've no time to get into that now. But Patricia, one other thing then, how has it been for you? I know we're of course having this conversation in English, and we often get the questions from people via email and on our comments. Why are you not having these conversations in Irish? Well, unfortunately, not everybody speaks Irish fluently, and we want to showcase our members and learners to a wider audience. Yeah, so this is why we do it in English. But as we said at the start, you're not a native English speaker. How has it been for you approaching Irish through English? And have you found yourself trying to find links back to French? I know you said it's not very similar to French, but how has that experience been for you?
Yes, it's an interesting question. In fact, I couldn't find any classes Irish to French or French to Irish, so I had no choice. And, it's a little bit strange because I have to most of the time. It's better now, but at the beginning, I had to translate with Google Translate or the dictionary online, the French to English and English to Irish, and but it's a good exercise, I think. Yes, and yes, but a little bit strange.
Yeah, I can imagine. I had the experience when I went on my study abroad year to Bonn in Germany, and I was studying Spanish and German. And I went to the Spanish class in Germany, and my German and my Spanish weren't very good. And the teacher spoke in Spanish and translated it to German. And so I had to take down the Spanish, the German, and then go home and translate it into English so I could understand what was going on. And I won't lie, I gave up quite quickly. I finished with Spanish on my year abroad because I couldn't handle it. So I applaud you for keeping going with it, Patricia, because it's a hard thing to do. And if we had our way, Irish would be offered through every other native language as well. Now, I do know there are links in Rennes University with Irish that you can study Irish in the university there. I don't know, is it offered to outside students, or people that aren't?
Rennes is about 1 hour far from home, and that's true. I met a young girl in an Irish session in Rennes because my sons played music, and one of them plays each Saturday in a session in Rennes, and there is a lot of students in the sessions. And once I met a young girl who is a teacher in Gaswege in Rennes. So I forgot that, but I may ask the question if I think other students, even if you don't want to pass an exam, I think you can go and have some classes, maybe.
Yeah, it's worth a try. Yeah.
But it's quite far from home, so I can't go every day.
Yeah. No, the only reason I know about it is that friends of mine studied in Rennes on their study abroad when I was in Bonn in Germany. They were in Rennes and they told me about it. But yeah, you'd be surprised where around the world you'll find Irish. But of course, online is useful and handy for those, especially if you're living in a more remote area. But yeah, I just have to tell you again, mahu and well done. And I interact with you quite a lot on Pobble, where you write replies to my daily challenges. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm the community manager, or the Bannister Pobble, of our forum, or community forum, Bite Size Pobble, and there I post weekly and daily challenges for the members to get involved with, just to give another place for them to speak and practice Irish and type and get corrections from me. And I have to say, I've seen you've been with us since October 2024, if I'm correct, round about that time. And I've seen you progress. I've seen your progression, and I wish you all the best on continuing that progression. And you're so far doing really, really well. So you're an Explore member. So I don't know, do you take part in the monthly sessions with Ben? We have once a month, there's a live session with Ben, Bite Size BO Starter. But if you're not already involved in those, Patricia, you should jump in, but maybe you're already there.
Mm-hmm. And I am impressed by the quality of the propositions on Bite Size Irish, because there is a lot of variety. Mm-hmm. You can have some reading and listening and writing, and I think for people like me, it's a great opportunity, because you can do as you if you have time for only 10 minutes, you got 10 minutes, and if you have time for 1 hour, etc. Mm-hmm. Everyone do at his own pace, his own,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the good thing, I think, about Bite Size. And it's there's something for everyone. Again, if you want to do a little bit of reading, a little bit of writing, that, you can do whatever you wish. And again, we're called Bite Size because you can take it bite-sized in your little pieces that you learn, but you can also go for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours on the self-learning platform. There's no one to stop you. So that's the way it works. And so far, it's working well. So Gur maith agat, Patricia, for your feedback. I always like to hear how everyone actually finds it. And to the listeners and the viewers, we're not paying our members to advertise for us. So this is just an off-the-cuff conversation that we have. Anyway, if anyone is interested, as I said, Patricia is an Explore member. And we also have Foundations, which is a level lower, and Grow, which is a level higher. And you can find out all about it on bitesize.irish/memberships. And if you're like Patricia, who is interested in the singing and in the music of Ireland, we also have a standalone course called Sing a Song. So Sing in Irish, Bite Size Irish, if you give that a little Google, or if you have a look on our YouTube page, you'll find some bits about it. But Sing in Irish is essentially our standalone song course where you can learn a certain amount of songs, and that's also an exciting part. And that's a standalone course on its own. So you pay once and then you have it forever. So depending on what your interests are, we try and cater for everyone here at Bite Size. Patricia, Gurv Mila maith agat. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed our chat. It's already been 29 minutes, so we better say slán.
Check out Bite Size Irish courses and resources at bitesize.irish.